Sama Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh, Achud. That's Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last 6 of time. All right? Lord willing, this message is edifying. This message is going to be entitled, The American Dream is Rented. The American Dream is Rented. All right? And I'm going to just jump straight into it. I have this article entitled, The American Dream is Officially Dead. All right? From nomadlawyer.org. And Lord willing, I'm going to get into it and be edifying. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed our vain help. In our watching we have watched for a nation that cannot save us. And that nation is spiritual Rome, spiritual Egypt, all right? Babylon the Great, which we know of today as America or the United States, all right? That nation could not and cannot save us. Its policies, its decrees, its doctrine, its ideologies, its currency, its exchange, all right, cannot save us. Us being the house of Israel, you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, all right? That's why the Lord commands us and instructs us to come out of this place, because the American dream is rented, man. And this place is spiritually bought out, all right? It's spiritually cashed out, man. The Lord is going to cash out in this place and render it desolate, all right, by that thermonuclear heat from those ICBM nuclear missiles and from those laser beams and concentrated heat off of the chariots whom the world ignorantly identifies as UFOs, man. The Lord is coming to destroy America completely, render it desolate. So the Lord commands his people to come out of this place spiritually, all right, not go get on a plane or get on a boat, train, however it may be, and try to escape judgment, because wherever you are, if you're of the nation of Israel, or if you're of any of these other nations, starting with Esau, Edom, you can't escape the judgment of the Lord, all right? A bee can't escape the judgment of the Lord, man. The leaves on the trees can't escape judgment from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. The Lord controls all right? And he controls us and commands us to worship him, to do his will. The White House, the picket fence, the American dream is just that. You have to be asleep to believe it, man. All right? So as soon as you go in that house, you see the White House, the picket fence, you got a westernized looking things, right? You got a worldly look. You chasing after the bag, 401k, retirement. We're not saying nothing's wrong with getting your daily bread, all right? You have men of the Lord that are well off, man, doing well, all right, but still maintain the balance. But if you don't know your nationality according to the Bible, you're not calling on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you build it in vain, man. See if I can get that one, because like I said in Lamentations 4:17, man, all right, we are watched for a nation that cannot save us. So here we are pouring ourselves into the society due to slavery, building up the society, but have nothing to show for it here, all right, in this current world. But what do we have to show for it? It's shown in the heavens. Why? Because the Lord has given us the spirit of prophecy to prophesy the downfall of this place and to see what's actually going on, not to be caught in that matrix of the facade of the American dream. So this is Psalms 127:1, a song of degrees for Solomon. It says, except the Lord build the house, the Lord Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchmen wake it, but in vain. That's right, you wake it, but in vain, right? Because you're not waking it in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to know the times, to be able to act on it. So if you're not building your house with the Lord, you're building for nothing. So if you're not going out, all right, you get your daily bread, and if you're not doing it, all right, with the motivation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in these scriptures and prophecy, then you're doing it for nothing. So that's ultimately likened unto the mindset of the society, man. We watch for a nation that cannot save us, the American dream, is rented. All right. This is the book of John, chapter 18, verse 36. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not. I'm going to start at 35. John 18:35. Pontius Pilate answered, am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the chief priest had delivered thee unto me. What hast thou done? That's right. So he was saying, am I a Jew? Your own people delivered you unto me. But ultimately, Yahushua was going to be like a lamb, all right, sheep led to the slaughter. Ultimately, that lamb that was slain, all right, did not lift out a cry, but took it and was that ultimate sacrifice. So that's likened unto us. All right, we got to forsake this world. We got to say, okay, well, the Lord has given us the spirit of prophecy. We know what state America is in. We know this place is dissolving. All right, the last little particles of sand, all right, are coming down in that hourglass. So we know this place is ultimately on the edge of destruction. It's on the edge of all hell breaking loose. All right, the inhabitants are being stirred up in confusion. But Isaiah 33:6 says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. All right, but I'm going to get this precept and we're going to get into the article. This is John 18:36. Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. And that's our mindset. The American dream is rented. If my kingdom were of this world, then my servants will fight. So the Lord is saying, if the American dream wasn't rented, and if you could actually build up my kingdom in this society and go to work for it and put it in your 401k pension plan and put it in your retirement plan and put it in your bank account, then we will fight for this society. But no, we fight for something that's unseen, which is the kingdom of heaven. All right. Seek ye the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. So the Lord knows what we want. He knows the aspirations that we have to have many mansions and dwell in his house and be joint heirs and get that inheritance. But the Lord knows that it's not the American dream way. All right. So the Lord is setting our hearts upon something greater than we can receive here. All right. So it says, if my kingdom were of this world, then will my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. That's right. So Yahushua had to be delivered. All right. Delivered up unto the Romans to be crucified in order for these things right now to come to pass and him to be able to come back in his glory and turn up again for us and deliver us. All right. And we're awaiting that day because we know the American dream is rented. Now let's get into this article. Salakia. Let's get into this article. All right. Nomadlawyer.org. It says the American dream is officially dead. I'm going to just get the bones from the meat out of this. All right. I'm going to take the meat. So it says the American dream is officially dead. Salakia. All right. You got a picture of so-called president of this society. Right. And if you look at his face, it's in a face of rend. All right. Spent. Okay. Like the brothers go into. All right. Depleted. He looks completely on the edge of being totally confounded. All right. And totally upset by prophecy. So it says, has the essence of the American dream faded? Asking whether the American dream is a relic of the past underscores a deep-rooted issue, right? Because America has deep-rooted issues. Those deep-rooted issues are slavery, all right? Scriptures tell you that. This is the book of Nahum 3:1. It says, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. That's right. The city is full of lies and robbery. It was built upon that, and the inhabitants thereof reflect lies and robbery, because all they do is try to slime and grime their way to the top. This society it's been coined the dog-eat-dog world, man. So that American dream is rented. You have to actually buy into it, right? But the scriptures tell us to bid unto the marriage, right? Sell the truth and buy it not, right? Buy the truth and sell it not, roughly paraphrasing, right? So we know that the Lord commands us and says, go out there, my son. Seek the lost sheep of the house of Israel, not chase the American dream, right? And although we're in the society, we're not of the society. So we go to work and pay our bills, but we don't completely wrap our minds around get rich quick schemes. All right, how to flip, how to hit licks. No, man, we gotta go to 9 to 5s and remain blameless, man. And we can't put our treasure in this society. All right, we got to put our minds on the word and let the Lord do the rest. All right. This is Ezekiel 24:9. Therefore says the Lord Yahweh, woe to the bloody city. I will even make the powerful fire great. And that's going to happen here in America. The powerful fire is going to be great. There's going to be a great pile of fire here when this place gets burnt up, man. All right. And these people don't have to believe. So what? Look at what's transpiring here. It's that of prophecy. All signs point to these prophetical events happening leading up to the coming of our Lord, man. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So this country is deeply rooted in slavery, right? Transatlantic slave trade. Scriptures tell us in Deuteronomy we will be brought to a land, all right, swifter than the eagles, all right, which we know it not. And that alludes back to that Lamentations. Let me get it real quick because I didn't finish up in it. Lamentations 4:17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us, America, the land of traffic that the scripture speaks of. It says they hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. And that's what the society is coming to, checkpoints, all right? That movie Code 8 is a good example of that, man. The society is going to be hunting our steps, all right? Making sure that we've been karagmad. All right, but ultimately, we're going to have another type of M-A-R-K that's going to be on us, which is of exemption, to be exempt from these judgments, to have that blood on our doorposts so the Lord can pass over us in spiritual Egypt, man. All right, with that blood, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Lord uses to ultimately cover us, all right, and gives us the comfort of the Spirit. It says, verse 18, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. The scriptures tell you that a man shall desire to hear another man's voice, all right, shall not be able to. Shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Verse 19, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles. So you see how this story is playing out. The Lord said we will be brought to Egypt again with ships. All right, these transatlantic slave ships brought us here to America, which now have coined themselves, all right, with that eagle, all right, which in their mindsets, their warped minds, means a sense of liberty, which is no liberty here at all. That's why it says the American dream is officially dead in that article, man. All right, so it says our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heavens. So we're here now, yet this day in our captivity here in America, right? But those that are in their right mind, the righteous, we know that the dream of America is rented, man. You got to literally purchase it temporarily to get some type of satisfaction here in the world. And you don't own it, but guess what you can own, right? Guess what you can have ultimately a bid onto, all right? Or the word I'm looking for, a stake in, man. The kingdom of heaven. But you got to present your body as a living sacrifice, all right? You got to be, first and foremost, going to 2/3 of you so-called Native American Latinos and Negroes, the Lord's chosen people, all right? This truth is for you. These commandments, the statute, the way, the narrow way is for you, all right? It says they pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. That's right, man. Esau, who is Esau Edom? So let's ultimately go to also show how the society is rooted, all right, with their trafficking, to ultimately go into the American dream being rented. This is Ezekiel 17. And let me see. I'm gonna start at 4. It says, Ezekiel 17:4, he cropped off the top of his young twigs. I'm gonna start at 3. I'm gonna start at 1. Ezekiel 17:1, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, put forth the riddle and speak a parable unto the house of Israel. And say, thus said the Lord Yahweh, a great eagle with great wings, long-winded, full of feathers, which had diverse colors, came unto Lebanon, and took the highest branch of the cedar. He cropped off the top of his young twigs. And notice the Lord said, great eagle, man. All right. It said, and carried it into a land of traffic. He set in a city of merchants in that land of traffic. That city of merchants is ultimately America. The scriptures calls America what? Prince of Tyre, right? This is let me get it. See, bear with me, Akium. All right. Bear with me. This might be it. Right. This is Ezekiel 27:1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Now, thou son of man, take up a lamentation for Tyrus. It says, and say unto Tyrus, O thou that art situate at the entry of the sea, which art a merchant of the people for many isles. And that's likened unto America. America is that merchant, all right, buying and selling. Ultimately, it tells you in Revelation 18th chapter, all right, the merchants will wail for her. Why? Because they're not going to be able to import to export anymore, because its economy is imploding, all right? The grinders are ceasing. The unemployment labor it's crackling, man, all right? There's no work in Egypt, all right? And there's going to be no money in Egypt. It says, which art a merchant of the people for many hours. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, O Tyrus, thou hast said, I am of perfect beauty. And that's the mindset of America. I am of perfect beauty, all right? Thou dwellest carelessly. The scriptures tell you that, all right? And you're not going to have any defense, any walls in that day, man, because of your whoredom, right? And that's spiritual, because in this society they'll say a woman that has been with a lot of men, all right, has no walls, all right, no defense. And ultimately that's likened unto America. America's in bed with these other nations, and these other nations have gotten into America and gotten her effect and got the after effects, and now they're pulling away. They're taking the currency, that they're making America's currency the weakest on the planet Earth, which is soon to come. And that's likened onto spiritually, man. All right, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas, and that's likened unto America. All right, it's consumed in wretchedness now. You see what they're allowing, and that's how you can tell, okay, where this society is headed. It says, O Tyrus, thou hast said, I am a perfect beauty. Thy borders are in the midst of the seas. Thy builders have perfected thy beauty. That's right, man. And that's the scriptures tell us, because it tells you that the beauties has been perfected by the builders, man. All right. So that sweat has been off of the backs of you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes in this land of traffic, man. We're going to get in that too, just to furthermore show that the American dream is rented. Ezekiel 17:4. It says, he cropped off the top of his young twigs and carried it into a land of traffic. He set it in a city of merchants. You see? Carried it into a land of traffic. Now let's get what that word traffic means, right? And we can further show that the American dream is rented. It says traffic. So America is that land of traffic, that land of merchant. It says traffic, trade, commerce, from French trafic, from Italian trafico, from trafficare, carry on trade. You see, that's America. Trades, buying and selling, planes, boats, cars, trains, buses. Traffic, that's what America is known for. Hustling and bustling, getting up early, leaving late. All right, Haggai 1:6. He that earneth wages earneth it to put it in a bag full of holes. You working and working, you get 40, 50, 60. Now you got all these, you got cancer. All right, you got back problems, high blood pressure from working these different jobs just to make ends meet, just to keep up with the American dream, which you've only rented this whole time. You've only rented it. You only purchased. You've only paid money to loan it out, man, to have it temporarily. Because guess what? This society is made up of temporariness. But the Lord tells us to store up things that you can't see here, but you can see them in the heavens. And the multitude of the people won't get it, because that goes way over their heads, because they're too busy searching for what they can see in front of them. So it says traffic, with the original sense of the Italian verb being touched repeatedly, handled, to rub, right? And you see that in the society. Buying and selling, trading. Money touches hand, it touches another hand. Money goes into another hand, it touches another hand. Goods come in exchange for money. The hand touches the hand. All right, it says to rub. And that's ultimately too when you got those tires that are rubbing the ground. You got the rubber that's meeting the road, right? When people are going to places, you got these license plates that they put on the back of cars, and that's traffic. People go here and there. What are they doing? They're going to work. They're going to buy. They're going to pick up. They're going to drop off. All right, that's America. But the American dream is rented. All right, or to rent. And let's go back to the scriptures, and let's get. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 22. It says, a good man leave an inheritance to his children's children. And first and foremost, that's likened unto the truth. The Lord has left this inheritance to us, all right, so we could ultimately deliver it on to our children's children and make our generation stronger through the spirit and the fear of the Lord, man. All right. So it says, Proverbs 13 and 22 again, it says, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. You see, so all things come back full circle. The sinner is ultimately working on wickedness and mischievousness and unjust and usury. All right, that's likened unto Esau, Edom. Let me read it again. Proverbs 13 and 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. That's right. So the sinner, all right, the scriptures tell you, though the sinner do evil 100 times, all right, shall not be unpunished. So you have the wicked that are working in this society. But look what the Lord says. It says their wealth is laid up for the just. So ultimately, it's going to come full circle in the end, right? Which the times that we're in. You're going to see all hell breaking loose, and you're going to have these doomsday preppers, the food that they store up, that's going to be laid up for us, all right? For the just, Lord willing, I'm on that number. That's going to be laid up for the men of the Lord, all right? Ultimately, too, the wealth of these elites, the gold, the true riches of the earth that they hoard up, that's going to be delivered unto the nation of Israel, man. That's why the Lord says, stick with this inheritance that you have for now, which is these words. You're going to get the rest later. The American dream is rented, man. You don't want to buy into this place, all right? Because look what rent is. Because that's all America is about, renting. It says rent. Now, rent is payment for the use of property. Now, when I say the American dream is rented, because you have to basically buy into the society or buy, all right, to get a sense of worth in the society for things that are naturally supposed to be free. But we know, hey, scriptures tell us this, all right? Spelling it wrong. Here we go. This is Matthew 22 and 21. Give me 1 second, Aki. Bear with me. This is Matthew 22 and 21. They say unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, and Yahushua speaking, I'm going to start at 18. But Yahushua perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto them, whose is this image and superscription? All right, which was on the money, right? Which they brought to Yahushua. All right, which is likened unto us in this day. What image and superscription did we have on the money? All right, Esau, Edoms, the rulers of this society. But just because we spend that money, right, get our daily bread, do we worship that money? No. We give to the Lord his money. So it says, 21, they say unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto the Most High the things which are the Most High's, right? The things which are Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is the scriptures. Present your body as a living sacrifice. Charity, hope, meekness, temperance. The church, building up for edification. All right? Building up a spiritual house. Let me see if they got anything on that in the NLT. because that was heavy, man. That's likened onto our lots in this society. We render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's, but we give unto the Most High's what is his. All right? Because we know ultimately America is rented, man. All right? You have to pay for to have a sense of satisfaction here, man. All right? Matthew 22:19, it says, "Here, show me the coin used for the tax." It's the NLT. "When they handed him a Roman coin, he asked whose picture and title are stamped on it." Yahushua was asking that. "Caesar's," they replied. "Well, then," he said, "give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to the Most High what belongs to the Most High." Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. You see, so we know the American dream is rented. Let's get that word rent. It says payment for the use of property. In a legal sense, compensation made periodically, right? Monthly, it may be weekly, whatever it may be. And that can ultimately be likened on to even smaller things, right? Daily things, gas, water, food, remnant. But we need those things. Wi-Fi, we need Wi-Fi, right? We need those, the basic necessities. And the scriptures even go into that in the Apocrypha, I believe. It goes into the essential use of man's milk, honey. See if I can get that real quick. It says, payment due, profit, income, to render, right? Render meaning what? To give. And that's what America is all about, man. Fines and payments, right? I think it's principle. Let me quote it. Principal use. Principal use. Milk. Life. Here we go. Call Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Sirach 39:26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil for clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so the sinners they are turned into evil. That's right. So that's the principal things for the use of our life: water, fire, iron, salt. And there's specifically here in Louisiana, all right, there's a crisis going on where they're trying to contaminate the water supply, which is all done by design. But it says, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. That's likened unto a man of the Lord getting his daily bread, man. All right? You don't have to have materialistic things to ultimately have a sense of worth. The scriptures give you and give us a sense of worth, man. Lord willing, we be at that number. So let's go back into this article a little bit. All right? Because the American dream is rented. It says, but what exactly constitutes the American dream? Though not strictly defined, it's a concept familiar to most, both within and outside the country. This potent ideal of opportunity and prosperity has historically beckoned countless immigrations to American shores, all believing that dedication and hard work would secure them a spot within the middle class. And that's the American dream in a nutshell, what the society gives you. And we've went over some of the precepts. We've watched for our vain help for a nation that cannot save us, because all nations have come unto this place to believe that the dedication and hard work that they put in will secure them a spot within the middle class, and they'll be able to ultimately give unto their generations and have generations that come behind them and their children's children have wealth in America. But nah, we brought it out that, all right, the Lord said his house is not here in America, because if it was, his servants will fight. So that's the mindset we should have spiritually, knowing that now, ultimately, the society is giving us a false image of security. It says, similarly, native-born Americans were nurtured on this vision that diligence would grant them a financially stable position in society. Yet the allure of the dream extended beyond just middle-class comfort. It promises limitless opportunities where one's achievements were only bound by their abilities. You see? So what your worth is only bound by your ability, how much you can work. So your worth in this society is dependent upon how much you work. Say it one more time. Your worth in this society is dependent upon how much you work. That's the American dream, man. All right? That your worth in this society depends on how much you can give your body to it. All right? Break your spine. Get low. And that's likened onto physically and spiritually. Get low. Going under the table. Doing whatever it takes to get the bag. That's the American dream. That's not the vision and the oracles and the prophecies of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right. It says, whether it was pursuing higher education, launching a startup, or outpacing competitors, excellence was supposed to be recognized and rewarded. Supposed, right? But it's not. It says whether it was pursuing higher education, launching a startup, right? Entrepreneurs, and that's big here in America. Higher education, of course, we know America's educational system, right? Quote unquote, is supposed to be some of the most prestige and highest education on the planet Earth, which has been proven to be untrue, all right? Which has been proven to be false according to the scriptures, because the scriptures tell you that the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Lord, man. So the American dream is ultimately rented. It says excellence was supposed, and this is the last little point I'm gonna make, excellence was supposed, right, to be recognized and rewarded, right? So the whole essence of the American dream, which essence pretty much goes into like the spirit or something. So the whole spirit of that American dream is totally gone. The city of confusion is broken down, and the American dream is rented, man. Lord willing, this message has been edifying. I'm going to say, Samah, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. That's Hero Israel. The Lord our power is one Lord. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are worthy of the double honors. Peace and blessing till next time. Shalom.